So Spencer, our usual catch-up. Let's just reflect on Saturday 1-1 draw with Weymouth. What are your thoughts? Now you've had a few days to reflect.
Yeah, same as after the game. It was having watched Weymouth's highlights in particular. It was seen the stats. It's proper 2 points dropped. I'm afraid. We've had 24 attempts on goal, 3 times what they've had. Only one meaningful attempt in the first half between the two teams, where I'm not sure if it's a keeper save or a block. Teams even themselves out first half. Second half, relatively dominant. Certainly the first 25 minutes, scored a good goal. Great save from Miller's keeper, otherwise 2-0 and we can all go home. And then a terrible goal from our perspective, set piece, and then their keeper pulls out an absolute fabulous save from Ricky. So, you come away disappointed. I know I'm getting moaned at, but the pitch was poor. I don't really understand it because, there'll never be criticism for volunteers. Farnborough have got the most wonderful volunteers, and I know Weymouth is struggling a bit, and full credit to everyone involved down there, but they need to help their manager and their team, because they've got a really good team as football players, and that pitch just slows everything down. And it's the same for both teams. We should have won the game. We've come away frustrated. Their keeper was rightfully man of the match in the paper and everything, and that tells its own story. We weren't good enough quite in both boxes, and we've let them stay in the game, and they've nicked a point. So disappointing from that perspective, but you've also got to look in, be very realistic and go, we are where we are, and away point's not a bad point. It's just, at the moment we've all set our standards really high, and then when things don't quite go right, we're disappointed. But to concede a set piece in the last few minutes to drop points, is hard to take, but we've got to take more responsibility about ourselves. Certainly, first half didn't do enough, second half didn't take a chances, should have finished them off, didn't, and credit Weymouth. They stayed in the game and got a point.
Obviously, going into November in a minute, but we've had October, 5 games, 3 wins, 2 draws, no losses, unbeaten. Are you feeling good, second in the league at the moment, or what are the overall thoughts?
I keep harping on, we're loving it. It's, I think whatever we are, 26 points. I mean, you're looking at the points, it's very, very congested at the top. You lose a couple, you can drop down to halfway quickly, and you look at the quality of the sides in the division, so which clearly we'll come on to with who we're about to play. But look, we've got to be delighted with it. Frustrated, I think we've dropped, we've dropped 4 points from really good positions this week. But I think that also tells you a story about how well we're doing, but we're loving it, and there will be highs and lows. We're already having a lot of highs. We've got one hell of a set of fixtures coming up in the month of November. So, it's definitely a challenge, but no, we want everyone enjoying it, and the fans enjoying it, and the players are enjoying it, and rightfully so, because that's what football's all about.
So if we do look ahead then to our next opponents, I think this is probably one of the fixtures the fans would have looked at first of all to see when the date would have been. Dorking Wanderers at home. We welcome Mark White and his team. What is your anticipation and thoughts about that game coming up?
The circus comes to town, but I have to say I love the circus. It's a great thing, with the ringmaster and Mark, who is a friend of mine. And look, first thing, credit. I think the story's amazing. I think it's unbelievable what's happened in 20 odd years there. So all credit to them. They'll bring a lot of support staff and video staff and everything, and look, we love it. We want to embrace it, and as I said, I think it's an incredible achievement. And amazingly, they're probably a little disappointed with how they've started, yet they're already still in the playoffs. So that tells you how good they are. They're very open about it. He says they should be winning every game, and I think they should. Injuries aside, when I looked at their teams even earlier in the season, their sort of 1 to 13, 14 players were exceptional. So I'll probably let you know what I told the players after Saturday. I tend to keep most stuff in the dressing room, but I said a fact about Dorking and Borehamwood, and both those sides can easily beat us, and rightfully so. Both sides have openly said with their big budgets, big clubs, just come down from National League, they can easily beat Farnborough. However, we can also win the game. It won't be easy, that's for sure. It certainly won't be the easily word, but we can win the game. We've got great home form, but they're a fantastic side, and they, I think it's a fantastic thing to embrace. The fun that goes with it. I think it's a credit to everyone at Dorking. It was my local club for 10 years, so I saw it before they started at the now Meadowbank. So it's an incredible story. It needs to be embraced, but we also want to upset it again. I'm looking forward to Mark's interviews afterwards. I'm hoping we've got 5% possession and win 2-0 and should have lost 10-0. So, I think it's great fun, and we're looking forward to welcoming everyone there. But we know on the pitch it's a massive challenge. But look where we are in the league. We play some really good football. We know we will have to play very, very well. But what a challenge and what an exciting game to be a part of.
And as you say, you mentioned it briefly there. After that, obviously, quick turnaround for Wednesday. Nice novelty for us away to Bournemouth. Any initial thoughts?
Yeah, and it's very similar to the Dorking situation, really. The chairman owner of Boreham Wood, he told everyone his budget, didn't he, in a huge interview at the end of last season. And he said he's kept that budget up now, and he's demanding promotion, and rightfully so. Putting his money where his mouth is. Supporting the manager. Fantastic side, and they've had a little bump. They've got a tough FA Cup game coming up, but at the end of the day, when you do your analysis on both these teams, Boreham Wood in the last game against Hornchurch could have been 4-5-0 up at half time. I mean, the Hornchurch goalkeeper was absolutely outstanding. They didn't take their chances, and Hornchurch came away with a point. And and to a large degree, Eastbourne gave them a really good game on Saturday and got 3 points. Look, these are two outstanding sides, and obviously Dorking at home is obviously a better thing with our home form. Boreham Wood away is even harder, but I don't really want to get into lots of predictions about who should be at the top, bottom, middling, where we should be, but I can give a pretty strong one. I think if you finish above Boreham Wood and Dorking, you're champions. Full-time sides, very open with their demands, amazingly good players, great clubs. We're looking forward to it. We're massively against the odds. We're bringing in young loanees and trying to fill the bench. But that doesn't take anything away from the fact that it's really important that we don't freeze. It really is important. It's important the fans get behind us, which I know they will. Let's really enjoy these games, but let's also be proud of where we are. We've got some really good footballers, and let's go and play well. Let's not freeze. Let's try and get results in both games. And our home form is exceptional. We have to focus at the moment just on Saturday, but yeah, really exciting couple of games coming up. A little bit daunting for sure, but I'm sure everyone will get behind the team over the coming days.
Just want to touch briefly on the FA Trophy draw that happened this week, Salisbury away. What was your gut reaction of that?
Trying to wake up. I think it's the problem with the trophy is until you get to the later rounds, it's really hard for everyone, because when you look at all the teams that we could pretty much work out were in the section of the draw, who do you want? It's such a difficult competition to get excited about until, fingers crossed, you get to the latter stages of it. So I can't imagine Salisbury are thrilled with it either, except they've got the vital home draw. Again, away from home, a side that's playing well. They've started really well in this division. We know how hard it is to come into the division. It's hardly exciting. I think we can win it as much as they can win it, and I'm afraid there's many ties like that. The competition is a tough one. It's brilliant towards the end of it, but you've got to get towards the end of it. So yeah, I can't say I was jumping up and down with joy when I saw it, particularly when we were away from home. But it's something we'll deal with in the coming weeks, and try and get ourselves up for it. But our priority at the moment is a really on paper tough set of fixtures in the month of November.
So one final question then. Dorking Saturday, we're expecting a big crowd. Why should the fans calm down?
Well, quite frankly, the Dorking story, as I've already said, is it's unprecedented, isn't it? So they've got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of viewers on a platform on the social media, which is amazing. Mark is a character in himself that I love being it. I'd love to say a lot of things he does as well. We're all looking forward to it. The weather's set fair. They're a fantastic footballing side. We're the underdogs, but we're at home. I'm sure Dorking will bring a great set of fans, which will be very, very welcome. We're such a friendly club, and the volunteers we have and the fans we have will be very welcoming. And it's one of those exciting days that we should all look forward to. Ultimately, I'm focused on what we can do on the pitch. We'll try and upset the odds again. As I said, don't mind giving up the possession, but we want to try and win the game, and we want to give another moment to the fans. We've already had plenty this season, and as I speak to you now, we're still in October, so it's one that again, bring people down, get hold of people who haven't perhaps come and seen Farnborough. The place is in fantastic form. The way the stadium looks, the fans, the performances on the pitch, where we sit, and it means people want to have a shot at us on the pitch, and that's a great challenge for our young squad. As I said, we're probably the second youngest squad in the division, which is, you know, a real plus for everybody who wants to look at where they put these young footballers. So everything's really positive. We're going to enjoy it, and we'll go out there and we hope to give them a really good game. And ultimately, you know, I want to win.
Perfect. Cheers, Spencer, and good luck Saturday.
Thanks very much.